And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Wednesday, November 8th. I'm Josh Engleman, and I am here to break down everything. We have a 14-game NBA slate ahead of us. Is anybody happy here? Look, I love talking about basketball as much as the next guy. I do it at 6:30 in the morning, basically every day. This is not necessary. This is so not necessary. The reason it's not necessary is because of tomorrow. I don't mind 14 games. We got 2 tomorrow. All because of the in-season tournament on Friday, where we had to lock down a certain amount of people to be not on back-to-back. So, tomorrow has 2 games. Today has 14. No one wants this. No one wants this. Hit that like button if you haven't done it already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. You'll get links to my videos. You'll get my prize picks cards. We went 4-0 Monday. Should have hung out with that one. Come follow it. NBA Treat is the promo code. You can get our NBA lineup generator for $4.99. If you're a 1 or 2 or 3 lineup person, this is the tool you're looking for. Think of it like DFS Tinder. Lineup pops up on the screen. If you like it, click save. If you don't, click discard. Another one just pops right back up. Export up to 20 via CSV. You're getting contrarian builds, balanced builds, chalky builds. We've already created all of the lineups. We get rid of everything that we think stinks. We present the rest to you. Thousands and thousands and thousands of options. Come check it out. NBA Treat. Link in the description of this video. What's up, everybody? Hope you had a nice day off yesterday. I didn't. I am annoyed by by yesterday. I played NHL, and everything looked good for me, ROI-wise. Before lock, certainly didn't after. Got clobbered, didn't work out for me. Shouldn't have took the shot, but couldn't help it. What else was there to do? But not a dub, that's for sure. Not mad with the process. Unfortunately, didn't go my way. Guys, we have so much to talk about. I have nothing else to like. We have games with 218 totals today, and then we have a Pacers game and a Hornets game that both tip off at 7 o'clock with 240 totals. Wild. Wild. Well, let's get into it because we're going to be here for 2 hours, and not even like I want to. We just don't have a choice, and that's where it really sucks. 14 games, bonkers day. But let's get into it. Coffee is here. I'm very, very excited to knock this bad boy back. That's for sure. Need a little bit of coffee. Great day yesterday. Very productive. Got a lot done around the house. But for today, we got our coffee. If you got a tea, water, beer, honestly, coffee feels like the play for today. I feel like on a 14-gamer, you need the extra caffeine. So if you've got it, join me for it. Rise and grind, everybody. That's what we do around these parts on the process. Cheers. Wow. Let's do it. Wow. Perfect. Perfect. Now I got to take a quick extra sip or two. Crack my pills. Coffee be good today. Yeah, S&P. I'm happy with my lineups. I had of anybody that played 3 lineups in the 444 yesterday, which is a pretty good swath of people. I think my pre-lock ROI was 7th. But all 3 lineups didn't cash, so that didn't get me anywhere. But you know, what are you gonna do? All right, here we go. Let's change the view. Let's get into this. The Washington Wizards. Oh, the good news is no one's on a back-to-back today. That helps. The Washington Wizards are 3-point dogs in Charlotte. 241 total. John Butler is out. On the Charlotte side, no Miles Bridges, no Cody Martin, no Frank Ntilikina, no Terry Rozier. So Charlotte's about to look a little wild. Washington, I guess, is going to look a little bit less so. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be too much to dig into here. Tyus Jones played 32 minutes 2 nights ago against Philly in that not appealing game. That can't be possible. He played 32 minutes and they went to the bench for the final 8 minutes. That's hard to do. But it also lets me think that Tyus Jones is going to play a little bit more than I was projecting. So, and it's a matchup against Charlotte. So I'm actually going to bump him up to 30. 25 to Gafford. I mean, they got what they wanted out of Gafford, which was 30 minutes. It just didn't go their way. Wow, Corey Kispert was negative 22 in 14 minutes. That's hard to do. Andrew Martinez, yes. Yeah, S&P, 100K up top in the 444 that I was in yesterday. So I don't want to miss those. Wait, somebody was out, right? We got Denny in. We've got Kispert in. We got Gallo in. Gallo's minutes are going away. They basically didn't play him. No surprises there. 32 to Kuz, 32 to Jordan Poole. That all seems fine. Denny at 27. Koulibaly's overprojected. Who am I missing? I'm like missing a full human being. I don't know who it is because this Washington team is just straight dog balls. Johnny Davis, obviously. I mean, Gallinari's been washed long before this year. So, no reason to suspect that would be different. Look, we're getting the standard Washington rotation. My assumption here is that they don't look good. Charlotte's going to be the side where we're interested because they get to face Washington and Terry Rozier isn't playing. And that is going to dramatically change some rates. So, let's assume they're going to go with LaMelo Ball. Who started the last game? So, in the loss to Dallas on the 5th, wait, did Rozier also not play that game? Oh, perfect. All right, so Brandon Miller's just going to start. This is way easier. What day of the week was the 5th? Was that Sunday? Today's the 8th. 7, 6. Okay, yeah, no wonder I didn't know Brandon Miller started. All right, so then we know what we're doing here for this rotation. LaMelo Ball is going in. He played 39 minutes, so it looks like the minutes limit for LaMelo Ball is over. Let's get him in for 34. Mark Williams is playing about 28 minutes a night in competitive games. Nick Richards then can have 19. We hide 1 for PJ Washington, and we also give him another 32. Then we need to get Brandon Miller and Gordon Hayward. Hayward playing 33 minutes a night. Brandon Miller got 36 in the opener, 34 the night before. I see no reason to suspect Brandon Miller is playing anything less than like 33 or 34 minutes tonight. Let's pop him in for 33 as well, same as PJ Washington. The rest of this then should be pretty easy to hash out. We're going to get Teo Maledon as a backup guard. We're going to get JT Thor as a, other backup. That leaves us 22 minutes. They did go to Bryce McGowan and Ish Smith. Don't have Ish Smith on Charlotte. Didn't know he was on the team. Let's go ahead and add him. Do I have him somewhere else? I do not. Do I have him in the league? It appears that I do. That helps. So I'm going to split these final minutes on Ish Smith and Bryce McGowan and call it a day. We are going to be done game 1. I don't know why I went back to Washington instead of going to Charlotte. That was dumb. We're not going to be done game 1. I'm going to have to change a couple rates take a look at LaMelo with no Rozier around, because I'm guessing that's a pretty big bump. All right, so it's 22 minutes, so we're going to go 11 McGowans, 11-ish. Perfect. Oh, that's Cody Martin. 11 McGowans. There we go. All right. Since the beginning of last year, how many games has Terry Rozier not played? Let's just figure that one out first. All right. Beginning of last year, Terry Rozier has missed. He doesn't miss time all that frequently, so I'm guessing this is an oddly low number. Oh, it's 20. Okay, that's not bad. Now, LaMelo has only played 143 minutes in that time. So what we're going to do is take LaMelo off, and we're going to take Terry Rozier off, and we're going to put LaMelo on. Now we're going to look and see how big that sample is. LaMelo Ball has played 553 minutes since the beginning of last year with Terry Rozier off and him on. And in that time, he's got a 31% usage rate. I'm willing to bump that up a little bit for sure. The real question then is, PJ Washington's is at 19.5, so I have no change there. Rozier can go away. Gordon Hayward surely doesn't use more possessions. The only other person that would have shot the ball a lot was Kelly Oubre. So I actually think that everybody else just sort of stays the same. LaMelo, from an assist perspective, does see a bit of a bump. I think that makes a ton of sense. Just out of curiosity, what's the LaMelo prop? LaMelo points prop is at 25.5, juice to the under. I got him at 25.2. Perfect. PJ Washington, I have at 17.4. Close enough. Brandon Miller, I have at 17.1. Maybe a tad high. Has Brandon Miller's usage rate been a little bit lower than I would expect so far this season? I don't want to dig too far into rates yet. That's a later on in the day task. Yeah, Brandon Miller. No, you know what? This is actually fine. I'm happy with these rates. So looking at the Charlotte side of this one first. I don't add Mark Williams to the center list like normal. $8,900 LaMelo stands out. He really does. That stands out a lot. Yeah, get LaMelo and then get Brandon Miller. Small forward, power forward, 5,800. Looks pretty good to me. I'm happy with PJ Washington. I think there's a case to be made for like Teo Maledon minutes on a different day if there weren't 14. But as I look at it right now, your priorities are LaMelo Ball and then flip a coin between PJ Washington and Brandon Miller. On the Washington end, yeah, so S&P. LaMelo's the interesting one because his true shooting problems aren't from shooting. Like 38% from three last year, 39% from three on the year before. Clearly on like not easy attempts. Massive assist rate. He can't score at the rim, which is the weird part. 49.7% from the rim last year, 52.6 the year before. That's like 10th percentile. It's not like he's little. Like, he's 6'8". If he were like a small guard, you'd be like, okay, I get why he doesn't shoot well at the rim. Does that just come around at some point in time? Because if he just starts shooting even like average at the rim, his true shooting will explode. All right, on the Washington end, look, $4,900 Gafford is underpriced. And there's no reason he can't have a big day here. Like, if Charlotte's not making their shots with only LaMelo, maybe there's a lot of rebounds out there for Gafford. $7,500 Kuzma looks significantly better than Jordan Poole does. And then if Tyus Jones is playing 30 minutes, $5,600 Tyus Jones in this matchup looks pretty good. All right, game 2. Utah Jazz in Indiana. They are 6.5-point dogs, 244 total. What do we know for the Jazz for today? Probably not a lot. Keontae George probable. Walker Kessler questionable. The only thing that really matters. Left elbow sprain. I'm going to assume we see him. Bridges what? Almost made. Crispy, what up? Probably don't have too many changes here for Utah. Like, it's not like their rotation's changing or anything. Colin Sexton's playing less than he had been. I don't remember who was trying to tell me they were playing Colin Sexton on Monday, but that was a bad idea. Clarkson seems fine. Collins seems fine. What, 34 for Markkanen seems fine. But Bridges have been getting minutes during what time? I'm fine with 21 minutes for Keontae George. He's going to start getting a lot more playing time. We got to be ready for that one. 24 for Walker Kessler. I think they're going to start playing him a little bit more. We're going to take him up to 26. I had one more minute. But not a lot of changes for the Utah rotation. With everybody healthy, I expect them to be doing most of the same stuff. Oh, yeah, S&P, I'm with you there. It's just his breakdown of rates is just like the inverse of what you would expect if you watched him play. You would never expect him to be like shooting well from 3 on his looks and like never making a layup. It's so the opposite of anything you would expect. It just flies in the face of logic for his play style. Indy. Terry, you too. Everybody that's normally available for Indy is. I don't really have much here. It looks like. Yeah, almost made. Your memory isn't working well. Miles Bridges did not play a single second last year in the NBA. Just like he's not playing a single second right now. Halliburton good for 34 minutes. Bruce Brown good for 31. 25 for Mathurin might be a tad high. Let's bring that down to 24. I mean, they just play like such flat minutes everywhere. Everybody just plays flat minutes. 23 for Obi Toppin. Like, all right, maybe they're starting to ramp up Toppin a little bit. Maybe that's happening. Not enough. Like, there's no telling who closes in some of these games. Like, everybody just plays 26 minutes unless you're Halliburton. I guess we're going to go with this for Indiana. Yeah, S&P. They're going to end up with Keontae George in the starting lineup sooner rather than later. That's just, they've got nothing to play for, so get him out there. All right, let's look at Indiana and Utah. Not much to talk about here. 7K Miles Turner. He was kind of popular on Monday. It probably should be again today. 1.33 fantasy points per minute so far this season for Miles Turner. 1.26 is where I have him for the game, so I'm fine with that. I think it's a really, I mean, Miles Turner is a fantastic matchup against Utah because either they're guarding Miles Turner with John Collins or they're pulling Walker Kessler out. So that helps. But again, add Turner to the list of just like centers you can get to, which is less appealing. Obi Toppin, $4,300 power forward center. There's probably not enough minutes to go there. Like, you'd rather take the shot at Jalen Smith at 4,100, I think. But Toppin's working his way there. And then 98 for Halliburton. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's just... I have a hard time projecting his assists because the rate is so high. What are they going to do with Sexton? Nothing. I mean, like maybe 2 years from now, trade him. He doesn't make that much money, and they don't really need the money. But no, I doubt he's long for. I doubt he's long for Utah. I mean, he's not. He's just a bench guy. Okay. I wish Indiana looked a little bit more interesting. On the Utah end, nobody just immediately jumping off the page. If you're going to anybody, I think it's Clarkson. 6,200, point guard, shooting guard. You know, one of these days, Keontae George is just going to see minutes you didn't expect. But he's been at 0.75, so the $3,800 price tag doesn't get too crazy. Markkanen for 8,700, small forward, power forward, no problem there. Collins is fine. It's just like for Utah, any one of the guys, like any real starter, Markkanen, Clarkson, Collins. That's probably it, actually. Markkanen, Clarkson, Collins. That's where you have your eye. Kenneth, Josh withdrawal. Wow, we have 200 people here already at the top of the hour. People wanted some basketball back. Holy shit. Guys, hit that like button if you're here. Hey, chat, let me know when we get up over 100. I don't want to pull open the YouTube link. It's a pain in the ass. For some reason, StreamYard doesn't show me likes. So, just let me know when we get there. Hopefully, we're there already. It'd be awesome. Let's go to game 3. Boston Celtics, 2.5-point favorites in Philly, 227 total. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. All right. What do we know for Boston? Derek White back? Derek White is probable, so we can get the normal full-strength rotation for Boston. Pour one out for Robert Williams, man. That sucks. Looks like he's going to have to get like a meniscus cleanup. Not a Brunson jersey, just a standard issue like Knicks old school warm up. There's nobody on it. Bing bong. All right, so we know how to project Boston. This isn't going to be too much of a problem. Fantastic game to watch. All right, Derek White going in for 31. And then we get Drew Holiday in for 34. Get Zinger in for 32. 16 to Big Al. We get Jason in for 37. We get Jaylen Brown in for 35. I got to bump all of these dudes, right? I'll stick to 31 on White. 34 on Drew. Might be 35 tonight. We'll stick with Jaylen Brown for the 35. Who are we missing now? The rest of these dudes. So we got to give Horford a couple extra minutes. This is the kind of matchup you probably want him for. So let's get him up to 22. Who else? So we got to get Peyton Pritchard in for his backup run. 16. Get Sam Hauser in for his backup run. 18. And then 15 final minutes for, feels like O'Shea Brissett today. Or is he out? Nope, he is not. Some combination of Brissett and Cornette, I guess. Let's split it, I guess. 8 to Cornette, 7 to Brissett. Doesn't matter. Rates should all be fine. I'm going to take a look at the prop market just to see. Tatum at 29.5. I got 27.8. What's his usage rate been on the year? Tatum on the season, 29.5. Got him to 28.2. I don't mind being a little light. It's 29.5, juice to the under. Jaylen Brown at 22.5. Perfect. KP at 16.5, juice to the over. I got 18.3. What's his usage rate been? KP in 6 games, 21.5. Perfect. Drew Holiday, 13.5. Got him at 14. Derek White, 11.5. Got him at 11.5. Awesome. Feel great about the Boston side of this one. Now we go to Philly. Philadelphia 76ers. Everybody that could be available is available, which means we don't really have too much to change other than now that we have Nick Batum in the rotation, we can feel a little bit better about projecting the backups. So we got 37 minutes in for Maxey. We got 35 minutes in for Tobias Harris. 33 for Embiid, 15 for Paul Reed. We got 32 for Kelly Oubre. 31 for Kelly Oubre. We got Melton in for 27. Everything feels good here. Now let's hit the rest of these backups. So we want to get Pat Bev out there for some backup run. Batum played 18 minutes. The Celtics defense is the best defense in basketball. What are we talking about here? I'm gonna go like 16 to Batum. Yeah. Yeah, it's even better. It's even better. If they're fully healthy in the playoffs, it might be the best ever. There's just too much. The point of attack defense is it's just they're scary everywhere. I guess Korkmaz is just staying in the rotation, and I'm splitting minutes between Korkmaz and Jaden Springer, and I don't like this. So we're gonna go and get 16 minutes into Korkmaz. We're gonna get Jaden Springer in for 12, and then I'll hide 7 on like Robert Covington. Doesn't matter. Rates all stay the same here for Philadelphia. We've been all over this team. Oubre in the starting lineup doesn't matter. Can't imagine we want Philly here with any volume. $8,200 Maxey is still going to look good, but like it's obviously Maxey is in for a long night. Between Derek White and Drew Holiday, like this isn't going to be. He's getting the best backcourt, the best defensive backcourt in the league, and there's not a close second. So Maxey's in for a long night. He looks good at 8,200. I don't have much of an issue with it. Embiid's fine at 11K. We'll see what we end up having across the board for Denver and some of the other pay-up options. But I don't mind going to Maxey or Embiid. And Tobias Harris is just overpriced at 6,700. That's going to be a tough sell. A lot better this year, though. Good for him. I have him probably a little over projected, but it'll be okay. Embiid points prop is 29.5. I got 30. Maxey's is 20. Is 21.5. Juice to the over. I have 23.2. All right, so I feel good about Philly. You're really only going to Maxey or Embiid. On the Boston side, I don't know how you choose. It's the same thing I say every week. Tatum's fine. Brown's fine. Holiday's fine. Porzingis is fine. None of them jump off the page individually. Fun game to watch, though. We're at the 7:02 mark. Who wants to let me know how many, did we get to 100 by the top of the hour? 236 people in the door. Do I think players are putting any extra effort to the in-season tournament? No. Not yet. Not in the group play. In this group play section, it's just regular season games. When it gets a little bit further down the line, I don't want to say they'll play harder, but there will be a different air in the sky. I don't know what I just said. I don't even know where I was going. It doesn't matter. The LA Clippers are 4.5-point favorites in Brooklyn, 229 total. I'm going to assume that the Clippers look a lot like they did 2 nights ago, and we don't give a single shit about playing them. But if they change their prices, it'll be wild. Okay, so Terrence Mann might even be back, which is even worse for trying to figure out what's happening here. Bones Highland is just going to, one day just show up not in this rotation any longer. It might be today. It might literally be today. When all these dudes are healthy, there is no incentive whatsoever to playing Bones. I'm just going to take him out now. If Terrence Mann can play, I'm going to say Bones Highland has just lost his spot in the rotation. Why would you? There is no incentive to play him. He should be done and locked to the bench. PJ Tucker played 11 minutes. Harden played 31. I guess we could do that again. 35 for Kawhi. I'm going to make that 34. PG's 34. 32 to Russ feels like it's going to end up being high, but I'm going to go at least 31 to Harden. 26 to Zubats. Oh, yeah, we got to get Mason. I forgot Mason Plumlee got hurt. So we really need to think about this. All right, from a backup center perspective, we're going to have no Plumlee. Obviously, Zoo is here. Interesting matchup against Brooklyn, who doesn't really have a center. I think we probably have to project a little bit more playing time to Zubats, which is interesting. And then I'm going to guess they might just go PJ Tucker straight backup center, which could honestly be pretty interesting for what their second unit looks like and explain how they might stagger differently. So that'll be interesting to see. But they don't really have, in theory, they can go to Moussa Diabate. They did go to him for 6 minutes in the last game. I don't know if that was real time or not. No, that was, they gave him a minute 43. I think they're just going to go Tucker. So I'm okay with that. Diabate could very easily get some run. But I think we get 20 minutes out of Tucker. They ran what now? Paul George minutes fine. I think Terrence Mann probably comes back and takes his time. Norm Powell's got to get a pretty big haircut in minutes now, too. Let's get him down to 22. Leaves me 13 for somebody. Who are they most likely to continue with here? I don't know why Amir Coffey hasn't been playing more. I guess Kobe Brown is probably more interesting. Is Primo eligible to play? Yes. They actually just converted his contract, too. I guess I'll leave some minutes. Now that Plumlee's hurt, I'm going to leave those minutes on Bones, but get ready. That dude's leaving the rotation stat. And we're not playing the Clippers anyway, unless we're playing Zubats, probably. Go to Brooklyn. What do we know for the Nets? No Nick Claxton. Cam Johnson, doubtful. So same rotation that we've been getting, I guess, for Brooklyn. That does make things a little bit easier. And thanks for letting me know we hit 100, guys. And thank you guys for being here. 707. I can handle that. 250 people in the door. Spencer Dinwiddie in for 32 minutes. We'll go 31. DSJ will go in for 14. Cam Thomas, all 34. Ben Simmons, I feel good with 32. Day'Ron Sharpe doesn't play. There's 12. 32 to Dorian Finney-Smith. Now, that's got to be way higher. We got to go 34 to Dorian Finney-Smith. 32 to Royce O'Neal. Okay. 35 to Bridges. We're going up to 36. Lonnie Walker can get a bump. Get him up to 18 minutes. And then I'll just take a couple off of DSJ. Rates can all stay the same for this team at this point, so let's check it out. All right, Brooklyn, 7K Cam Thomas. That's not a bad price tag for him. Cam Thomas points prop, 25.5. I got him projected for 24.5. 7K for Cam Thomas. That's no joke. Yeah, Ross. I mean, it has to happen at some point in time. Depending on injury. Like, it's not, I don't think it happens unless somebody's out, though. Like, they're going to need a jumping off point at some point. But I expect it to be man eventually. Yeah, Cam Thomas, 7K. Mikal Bridges, 7,600 really isn't that bad either. I mean, this is not going to be a great defensive team for the Clippers. So, they'll be all right. What are they at so far? They are 4th so far. I think we start to see that change a little bit. Lean a little bit more offense. Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges. I don't know. On the Clipper side, yeah, no, I don't. Unless you're going to Zubats, I don't really see much. Like, the prices on these guys are always going to look good. Harden, Leonard, Paul George. You're not going to be surprised if they blow out that price tag, but how do you choose? If you're going anywhere, it's Zoo just because of the Mason Plumlee injury. San Antonio Spurs against the Knicks. Spurs are 9.5-point underdogs in New York. 223 total. I'm guessing we're still without Devin Vassell for today. Doubtful on Vassell, probable on Keldon Johnson, which means that we're getting the same rotation we normally do. I've got Keldon Johnson in for 33. I've got Zach Collins in for 31. I got Wemby in for 30. I don't really have any changes that I want to make here. San Antonio is just going to hold the same rotation I had from Monday. Knicks side, I'm guessing, is the same as well. They don't even have anybody on the injury report. We got RJ Barrett back in that last one. He played 31 minutes. This all seems like it's just going to be the classic Knicks rotation. I got 29 minutes in for Mitchell Robinson. That all feels fine. 35 to Brunson, 35 to Randall. Josh Hart played a little bit more than I was expecting, I guess. Maybe we get Josh Hart's minutes up a bit. Got him up to 25, but not a lot to write home about here for Knicks Spurs. Not really. Ben Simmons is like a good version of Josh Giddey. Ben Simmons is probably what everyone thinks Josh Giddey is. Obviously, different play styles. but offensively comparable. Just one of them's good defensively. Simmons is awful offensively, but not as awful as Giddey. It's a bad comp, but like it's if you squint hard enough, you get it. Sorry I forgot to mute. My bad for coughing into the microphone, guys. That's some rude shit. Look, for the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson's fine. Hartenstein backup center. You know, if you want to do that kind of weird thing, is fine. Brunson's fine. Randall's fine. Barrett's fine. There are no priorities on the Knicks. On the Spurs side, Zach Collins, 6,600. Malachi Branham, maybe. The Spurs look awful. Spurs might be the worst team to roster that we've talked about so far. No chance of getting a Wemby or anything like that. All right, so far this has been pretty ugly because we didn't see all that much to like in the two games with the 240 totals, and it's about to get a lot worse. Phoenix Suns, 1-point dogs in Chicago, 221 total. What do we know for Phoenix today? Anybody going to be available? Bradley Beal questionable. Devin Booker out. So I guess we're projecting Bradley Beal in for today. Seems like a bit of a journey for Phoenix. Let's go ahead and continue to get Eric Gordon playing his minutes. Dick Grayson. I haven't really had to project the Phoenix Suns much lately. Yeah, S&P, I really hope they can find a way to offload him. That's going to be the weak link. And people aren't going to see it. 28 for Nurk. So 27. 18 for Eubank seems fine. Nas Little not a part of the rotation anymore. They're now going to Keita, Bates, Diop. I don't really see who else's minutes I'm supposed to change here. I'm at 240. 29 for Okogie. That could probably come down. I really don't see who to take minutes from to give Keita Bates Diop a couple more, but maybe I don't have to. So I guess we just treat Bradley Beal like he's Bradley Beal for right now and call it a day. No way he has a prop up, right? Now, Durant's points props at 30.5. And juice to the under. I got him at 26.7. Kind of feeling like we're not going to see Bradley Beal today. What has Durant's usage rate been? 34. Okay, let's go ahead and bump that up. Perfect. Perfect. Are we gonna see less Josh Okogie? Did he play like a weird rotation? Last Phoenix game was Detroit. Okogie came off the bench. I didn't realize Keita Bates Diop is starting, but do we think he continues to start if Beal is back? Definitely not Watanabe more minutes. That's 100% the wrong one. Who do I think starts tonight if Beal is back? These aren't ceiling minutes projections. Now, Okogie closed, and then Keita Bates Diop didn't play at all again after that. Ugh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Bring that down, I guess. I'll take 2 more off of Jordan Goodwin, too, since he's just meaningless. Do something like that. So that'll be Phoenix. Cool. I assume I just get Chicago again. That never happens. Chicago Bulls. Anybody on the injury report other than Lonzo? Nope. Patrick Williams and Alex Caruso are both probable. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're not really changing this rotation all that much. 23 for Caruso, 30 for Kobe White. $13 for Carter, 35 for Levine, 24 for Torrey Craig, 23 for Patrick Williams, 33 for Vooch. Yeah, like I don't really have much wiggle room here. This is actually turning into an easier slate to project. Once again, Vooch, Levine, fine. Patrick Williams, point per dollar play. Ugh. I like DeRozan the least of the mid 3 of the Bulls. I'd rank it Levine, Vooch, DeRozan. On the Phoenix side, look, Bradley Beal's 7,100. I don't know how you do it, but he's 7,100 and there's no Devin Booker, so it's at least something to entertain. KD at 10-6, power forward only. Probably not going to be the guy. Don't really see anything for Phoenix. This slate is hideous. The fact that we're through 6 games. I don't think I'm dilly-dallying around all that much. We got 285 people in the door. That's fun to see. NBA Treat, promo code $4.99, NBA lineup generator. Link in the description. By the way, this slate just takes forever to get through. The Los Angeles Lakers are 2.5-point favorites in Houston. 218 total. This is one where I think we get that 30-minute LeBron minutes cap back. AD questionable, Jackson Hayes questionable, still no Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Rui probable. So Rui is back after missing the previous 4 games. So we can stop playing Max Christie and we can get Rui Hachimura in for 16 minutes. Christian Wood, 27. Probably not. Against Houston, maybe. 37 for AD. Oy, I don't like that. 35 for LeBron. 35 for D'Angelo Russell. 34 for Austin Reeves. 24 for Cam Reddish. Torian Prince played 34 minutes, but now the Rui is back. I don't expect that to happen. I think 28 maintains there pretty well. 16 for Rui. I really just don't know what to do with these last couple minutes. I don't want to go too much heavier on Christian Wood either. Guess I'll just hide 4 on Max Christie for right now. Somebody's going to get their minutes cut. Probably like Cam Reddish. And it turns into like 2 people, but because Max Christie, I assume isn't going to be long for this. Not going to matter. Not like look, the only guys that we're going to be playing here are the guys at the top end on a 16-game slate. So we know that much. Let's look at the Houston end. Yeah, I don't think that Max Christie eventually makes the rotation. I don't think he's good. I don't know who we would play over. Unless I mean, Cam Reddish, I guess, but I'm not a fan of either guy. But as of right now, Max Christie is borderline unplayable. All right, Houston. Anything for the Rockets? Tari Eason probable. Good shit. Get back on the team, son. Nice to see you. Amon Thompson's still out. Cam Whitmore on assignment. But we're going to get Tari Eason back, which is good for them because he had a really, really nice season last year. Very anxious to see what he can be. So 35 minutes for Fred VanVleet. 34 for Jalen Green, 34 for Dylan Brooks, 32 for Jabari Smith. Oh, I didn't realize we're getting Dylan Brooks and LeBron tonight. Max Christie can shoot? Huh? What are we talking about here? 41.9% from 3 last year. How many attempts? 4.6 per 30, 4.5 per 36 minutes. Can he shoot? Can he shoot? Doesn't feel like he can shoot. Maybe he can. They probably shouldn't play him. I mean, we're talking about a guy that shot 32% from 3 in his 1 year of college. I'm not going to read into 42% backup run from last year. Maybe he can shoot, but he hasn't done a lick of anything. He's 20, like, I don't know, but LeBron James does not break in 20-year-old dudes all that often. All right, we got to get Tari Eason back in the rotation now, which is probably going to come mostly at the expense of Jeff Green too. I'm really excited to see Eason here. Man, that's going to be fun. Aaron Holiday playing for this team now is like super weird to me. Two random minutes I could hide on Jeff Green. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, Houston. I mean, Tari Eason is the flat 3K. I just don't think he's going to play enough to matter, but great point per dollar play. After that, you know, Şengün looks fine for 79. Jalen Green, I'm a believer in at 6,300. Why does Giannis get a whistle on 13% of drives and LeBron only 6? I don't know. There's 5 games in the NBA season and samples are small. That'd be my guess. What was it last year? I don't mind Houston, but they're just kind of bland. Lakers. $9,900 AD stands out. So does $5,100 Christian Wood. Like, I don't mean stands out like they're guys you got to just jam in, but man, if Christian Wood had power forward eligibility, it'd be so much better. It'd be so much better. It's Reeves and AD. If you want to get wild with Christian Wood, I can see it, but I just don't think. I think the price tag and center only is just a little prohibitive. Let's see. What would make me think that? Last year, 16 and 8. trying to think if there's anything that would like make sense in my head. I'd have to dig into it. I mean, nothing jumps off on the surface. I assume you're going to claim some sort of like conspiracy or something. Not the way that I do this. I don't have an explanation, but I also heard about this 5 seconds ago. So, and don't give a single shit one way or the other. But yeah, dig into that, man. Probably a giant conspiracy against the greatest basketball player that's ever lived. It's my guess. Really is. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea whatsoever what will be causing that. You know what? Let's just see. Give me 1 second. All right. Since the beginning of last year, LeBron James has drawn a shooting foul on a 2-point field goal 17.6% of the time. Again, 2-point field goal shooting foul drawn rate 17.6%. Let's see where Giannis is for 2-point field goal fouls drawn. Giannis is at 27.3. Yeah, that's a bit higher. I mean, we can do this with everything. The problem is, who gives a shit? What's the goal in that question? I assume my guess is that LeBron is trying to go through people less than Giannis does. And by doing so, it doesn't accentuate the contact enough, is my guess. But I'm going to go right back to living my life without ever caring about that again. That's not the hill I'm looking to die on. Miami Heat. But yeah, Giannis draws a bunch of fouls more than LeBron. Sure does. Miami Heat, 2-point favorites in Memphis. I feel bad for Memphis, man. I really do. I really, really do. They have been not great in any way. Just truly not great. Guys, I got nowhere to be. This is fun. I'm in no rush. We're on a good pace. God damn, Memphis has been so bad. Foul wow. You're not going to help yourself with those total numbers. We're talking about rates. That's already handled. Brandon, that's certain. You would think that makes up a little bit of that. Being more likely to want to foul Giannis than foul LeBron. I definitely think there's something to that. I don't think that makes up that entire gap, but that's definitely, I would expect that to be a slight piece of it. You're more likely to want to put Giannis on the line. I think that's marginal, though, but definitely leans in the right direction for both guys. All right, Miami Heat. I've had about enough. The problem with that information and like bringing it into chat as if we should care about it is like, what do you want us to do? Yeah, it seems like Giannis has more fouls than LeBron. Where do I go from there? What's the next step that you would like me to do? I'm not like petitioning the league. Go to petitions.org or whatever, man. Let them know. Somebody probably looks at those. No Jamal Cain, no RJ Hampton, no Nikola Jovic, no Caleb Martin, no Cole Swider. The Miami Heat, well, I don't know what Miami's doing for the injury report this year, but it is so irritating. Yeah, S&P, that's probably a little bit fair too. Again, I think both of those things are marginal. And then you're probably inside the error bars at that point. All right, Miami. I'm guessing we're not changing anything here, right? Maybe a bump to Kyle Lowry's minutes, which nobody needs. Josh Richardson's minutes are all over the place. 34 to big coming out party from Bam on Monday. Holy hell. Ross, Lakers already petitioning the league about it. Everybody does this every single day, not just the Lakers. Leaking it is different, but everybody's always submitting things to the league, so that was no different. I don't have any rates to change or anything here for the rest of Miami. Now, Memphis is going to look a little bit different. We do got to make one change here for the Grizz. We got to get Bismack Biyombo on this team. Let's get Biyombo out there. Memphis, no Adams, no Clark, no Gigi Jackson, no John Conchar, no Laravia, no Morant, no Rose, no Tillman. No chance in hell. Hopefully Memphis gets the #1 pick. That'd be good for them, Think they can pull that off? Get that #1 pick? They'll be on one then. All right, let's figure out whatever this stupid team is going to be doing. Last time Memphis played was beating Portland by 12. That's when we got the Biyombo start. Hard to not think Bismack Biyombo is playing 26 minutes, but I'm going to guess he's priced appropriately. We're going to get Marcus Smart in for 33. We're going to get Desmond Bane in for 35. We're going to get Triple J in for 33. We're going to get Zaire in for 27. Add this team. Oh, yeah. Welcome back, Santi Aldama. That helps. It's crazy how much Santi Aldama is going to be like a helpful thing to have around these parts. What else do we need here? Big body Roddy. We got to get Luke Kennard out there for probably like 26 minutes. Illiard probably going to play like a decent chunk of backup point guard. And then we got to get, Big body Roddy and Lofton? Yeah. Go 17 to Roddy. 12 to Lofton. I got no rate changes to make. Bane's points prop. I have him at 26. Memphis is at... We're up to 316 people here. Nice. Stone Cold style. Bane's points prop is 25.5. I got him at 26. Feels great. So on the Memphis end, Biyombo is a guy at 5,100. If I'm going anywhere, it's probably Bane at 8,700. Still fine with no Ja. That's good to see. There's just no talent left on this team. Kennard's all right for 4K. It's not going to be exciting. Solid enough value. Jaren Jackson will be in that group of power forward centers that, you could pick. No priorities. Off pricing once again from DraftKings. Miami, you're not playing anybody. Maybe Bam, maybe Hero, maybe Butler, but I doubt it. All right. Game 9. Oh, Detroit Pistons, 12-point dogs in Milwaukee, 227 total. Whatever's happening here, I don't even want to see it. God, I hate the Pistons. This is my least favorite team in the league for sure. It's a shame because I like Cade. All right, Detroit. No Boyan, no Alec Burks. Alec Burks is sneaky their second best player. He needs to get back out there if they want to win. Jalen Duren, questionable. No Joe Harris, no Jaden Ivey, no Isaiah Livers, no Monty Morris. This team sucks. Unbelievably awful. Yeah, John, that one didn't go well. Did not go well. All right, we're going to get Cade in for 36. We're going to get Cade in for 35. I guess we're going to say that Jalen Duren plays 29 minutes. Give Bagley the backup run. Give him like 17. Steve Stu's going to play 34. Star Thompson's going to play 35. Killian Hayes is going to play 34. This team is ass. We're going to get 30 minutes out of Marcus Sasser, probably. He's a fan. I thought he should have been sixth man of the year last year. I think there was a role, like a path for it. They got to get him out of Detroit. He'd be great as like an 8th or 9th guy somewhere, like a real team. He's the only guy that's any good. Wiseman, Stanley, Moody. I guess the Stanley character is going to play like 16 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They ran a 9-man rotation. I guess I'll give those other 10 minutes to Jared Rhoden. Cross our fingers for Detroit here in this almost 2-touchdown underdog spot for the Lions. Go to the Bucks. For Milwaukee, no Middleton, which is usually a pretty good sign for like Marshawn Beauchamp. Jake Crowder probably going to step into more time. Milwaukee's cooked too, man. They got to get off my boy Middleton somehow, and I don't think they can. I really don't think they can. Are they cutting Beasley's minutes now? Is that happening? They should, because, I guess we give a little bit of a bump to Portis. Who's playing these minutes if there's no Middleton? I guess I just got to hide them somewhere. Not Campaign. Not Thanasis. Andre Jackson, maybe? There's really just like nobody to give these minutes to. Who plays for this team? Nobody? Just generally nobody? Campaign 2 more because why not? And then I'm going to hide 5 on Chris Livingston and Thanasis. I don't think it matters. I don't think these guys stand out. Like, I'm not projecting Giannis for 35 minutes against the Pistons. Get out of here. You're out of your mind. The most likely scenario here is a blowout. All right, Milwaukee. 9,100 for Dame. I can't say I'm mad about that price. What's his points prop? Should I be discounting Milwaukee in a big way here because of this line? Dame's points prop today is 25.5. I got him at 26.9. Giannis's points prop is at 27.5. Juice to the over. I got him at 27.7. Maybe I need to just discount Dame slightly. Dame usage rate so far this season, 26. Take one notch off of that, but Dame's all right for 9,100. You know what you can get. Giannis is all right for 10.5 power forward center. Jay Crowder is 3,900. Small forward, power forward. He might be the best value play we've had so far. Hey, Chris Livingston played on November 1st, Honey Badger. And on the 29th. Nope, didn't play that. He was one of the guys that didn't play that day. Doesn't really make a difference. That's not really the point of the projections. I like Jay Crowder as a value option. Look, he's a 0.75 to 0.8 guy here against Detroit. Okay. Yeah, Einsteinium. I'm not sure the Bucks really need to dial up that playoff style defense for the Pistons. I think they're going to be okay. And the stuff about the Bucks defense was wildly overrated right now. For a couple reasons. But one, they were not playing Brook Lopez in a drop for the first couple of games when it was ultra bad. They are now playing Brook Lopez again in a drop. That's helping for sure. Have they been bad? Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that at all. But I'm not gonna just immediately care against the Pistons. So don't be afraid to go to Milwaukee. On the Detroit side, $4,500 Sasser. You got to do it. Marcus Sasser is the best play we've looked at so far today. Take that for what it's worth. Asar Thompson looks really good for 6,900. Killian Hayes looks pretty good for 5,400 or for 4,900. I can't imagine playing Cade, but it'll at least be fun. But Marcus Sasser is the best play we've talked about today, and he'll close no matter what. So hard to not like Sasser. Let's go to the Pels. We're up to 336 people. 745. Sign up for the lineup generator. $4.99. NBA Treat link in the description. NBA Treat is the promo code. And hit that like button. All right, Pels. Who's available? No Alvarado, no Najee Marshall, no CJ McCollum, no Trey Murphy. Q tag on Herb Jones, which is going to be pretty important. Let's move this rotation around a little bit for the Pels here. 7.5 point dogs in Minnesota. We're going to get another big Jordan Hawkins day, I think. We're not going to get a big Kira Lewis day. He appears to just be a backup. Nance's minutes look fine. Joe Val's minutes look fine. They better really hope Herb Jones is playing today. 34 for BI. That can be 35. 32 for Zion. That can be 33. 20 for Matt Ryan. 22. Had those final minutes on Sebron. Yeah. Actually, had him on Zeller. All right, rates and everything should be fine for the Pels because this is the same team we saw before. Jordan Hawkins is fixing to be a problem for this one. I wouldn't be surprised there. It all depends on the price. Minnesota. Quite sizable favorites. No injury news that matters for this team. we finally saw Jalen McDaniels play more minutes, or Jaden McDaniels, really. And boy, did he. We knew that he would jump off the page with some minutes played. That happened quite a bit. Jaden McDaniels played 45 minutes, including the final 18 minutes and 30 seconds of the game. A minute 30 of the third quarter, the entire fourth quarter, and all of overtime. So, McDaniels is back to being a normal starter again. 32 minutes to Rudy Gobert. Yes. 22 to Naz Reid. Sure. 34 to Karl Anthony Towns. Sure. I can't really imagine saying anything other than 30 minutes for Jaden McDaniels today. And honestly, I think that might end up being low. Shake Milton's minutes are gonzo. Lomo in for 26 seems fine. 35 for Ant. I'm going to make 36. Feeling good here. 29 for Conley. I can't really change that too much. He's not going to just immediately fall into massive minutes. Let's take a look at this one. Jaden McDaniels, $4,200 small forward. I have to assume that he is going to play 30 minutes a night. That would be weird to me. Last season, he played 30 and a half. I don't see any reason why you would think Jaden McDaniels would play less minutes than he did last year, just in general. But if you want to go 30 minutes, he's a great small forward value option today. Great. Probably, he's a little bit behind Sasser in terms of value, but high-level value play. Mike Conley at 4,800 is a bit of an issue. So much so that I need to look at his props. Minnesota points prop on Mike Conley, 10.5. I got him at 11.6, so I can handle that. Assist prop on Mike Conley, 4.5, minus 148 to the over. I have 5.5. I'm okay with it. Mike Conley's going to look like a decent value play, as will Jaden McDaniels. I don't mind going to Naz Reid or Gobert. Towns is a bit of a tougher sell, but he's just in that 8K power forward center range, which is fine. On New Orleans, Gordon Hawkins is 4,700. I think you absolutely have to look at him as one of the better value options. The balancing act between Jordan Hawkins and Marcus Sasser will be interesting. And if you're going to an actual Pelican, it is Brandon Ingram long before it's Zion Williamson. BI assist prop just under 5.5. Guess I can knock that down a hair. And then points prop for BI. 24.5 to the over. I got him at 24.5. Perfect. Yeah, if you're going anywhere, it's Brandon Ingram, but Jordan Hawkins, value play. Add him to the Marcus Sasser list. Cleveland, 2.5 point favorites in OKC, 229 total. I can't imagine I like much here. Rarely get to Cleveland. Cavs. No Ty Jerome still. No Isaac Okoro. So we do have a couple little changes to make for Cleveland. Garland, 32 minutes, I think feels fine. 28 for Karis LeVert. It's just always somebody out. So we're going to go up to 30. 35 to Mitchell. Works. 34 to Mobley. Sure. 28 to Jared Allen. 30 feels better. 34 to Max Strus. So I'm going to go to 35. George Niang needs a sizable bump. Get him up to 22. Final 9 minutes here. Dean Wade in for 13 looks okay. Do they go Tristan Thompson? Amani Bates is with the G League team. Isaiah Mobley's with the G League team. They'd like it to be Ty Jerome, but that's not going to be the case. Craig Porter doesn't seem like he's going to be that guy. So I'm going to say they actually do give playing time to Tristan Thompson. On the Oklahoma City end, Ousmane Dieng questionable, Lou Dort questionable, Kenrich Williams still out. So I guess for OKC, we're kind of just still going status quo, but we want to keep our eye on the Dort and Ousmane Dieng news later today. 35 minutes for Shea. 32 for Giddey, can come down to 30. Hopefully that lets me never get him. Jalen Williams in for 33. I actually want to make that 34. Chet, 30. Chet, 31. Hang. Wiggins plays a bit. Case and Wallace plays a bit more than a bit. Jalen Williams with a Y will play a bit. But I think we're good. No priorities from Oklahoma State in any way. Oklahoma State? Oklahoma City? Not the whole state. Chet, 7,800. Add him to that bucket of 8K power forward centers that are viable. He's been great so far. 1.29 DraftKings points per minute for Chet on the season. Jalen Williams is 7K power forward only. Fine, no priority. Shea, 10-4. Fine, no priority. I wouldn't expect to see much ownership coming into the Oklahoma City Thunder, not in this matchup against Cleveland. If you're going to anybody from Cleveland, I think it's Darius Garland at 7,200. Maybe it's $6,200 Jared Allen. Otherwise, I don't really see it. I don't see much interest in $9,600 Donovan Mitchell. 3 to go. Toronto Raptors, 5.5-point dogs in Dallas, 224 total. Do I think that Chet has a legitimate chance at Rookie of the Year? I mean, he's been the best rookie. So if they handed out the award in this moment right now, he should get it. Whether or not he does is a different story. But Chet is the Rookie of the Year so far. Right now, Wemby is the odds-on favorite. I would not mind putting in a little something on Chet. If those guys are close, the tie has to go to Chet because Chet's going to be playing on a team that is like decent. And San Antonio will not be that by the end of the year, I would expect. Toronto. Where are they hiding in this stupid injury report? What time is this game? 8:30. There we go. Precious Achiuwa questionable. Welcome back. Guess we need to project you back in again, which complicates matters. I'm going to take Jake Puddle back down to 27. Jalen McDaniels leaves the rotation. Chris Boucher leaves the rotation. Precious Achiuwa gets popped back in for 19 minutes. Scotty Barnes, 36 minutes, seems fine. Siakam for 36 seems fine. 32 for OG seems fine. 33 for Dennis Schroeder seems fine. 24 for Gary Trent seems a little light. Grady Dick still playing? Yes. Malachi Flynn still playing? Yes. Final 3 minutes can be hidden on Otto Porter because who cares? I need to give OG more minutes. I don't think so. Maybe? No, I think we're good. 33. Go up to 33. Chet on NBA sideline for a year and shouldn't count as a rookie. Victor Wembanyama played professionally last year. Should he be a rookie? What are we doing? All right, on the Dallas side, unless we get one of, like, Luka and Kyrie aren't on the injury report. Maxey is. Unless you get one of those guys out, it's just basically impossible to get to anybody from Dallas. Give those 22 minutes to Maxey. And then we start cutting Derek Lively's minutes down, and Dwight Powell's minutes down, and Jaden Hardy's minutes down. I don't know where the rest of them are supposed to come from. I gotta cut 9 minutes from this team. Where the hell do those 9 minutes come from? I guess Josh Green, maybe? Where do I cut 6 minutes from? All right. When Maxey was playing, who wasn't? I guess everybody was. I guess Lively probably needs to lose more. Still need 4 more. Well, sorry, Jaden Hardy, but you're the only guy that can take those minutes away. All right, Dallas. Luka at 12K. Look, there's enough value to get to Luka today at 12K. I don't love the spot against Toronto, though, so we'll see what that ends up looking like in crunches. After that, you're probably not going anywhere for this Dallas team. For Toronto, I don't think that anybody is really worth it. Let's check and see the Scotty Barnes props just to double check, but I probably, like, Siakam would probably be the first guy I'd play from Toronto if I played anybody. The more likely scenario is that I played nobody. All right, Barnes points prop is 20.5. I got him at 20.2. That'll work. Barnes rebound prop, 8.5 juice to the under. I have 8.1. Barnes assist prop, 5.5 juice to the under. I have 4.5. Yeah, I'm good. All good there. Golden State Warriors, 3.5 point dogs in Denver, 227 total. As we look at Golden State, Draymond is questionable, which means we don't really have too much to move around here. I'm going to get Kevon Looney back up to 24 minutes at the expense of a minute from Gary Payton and a minute from Moses Moody. I got Clay for 32. We got Steph for 33. We got Chris Paul. I'm going to bump up Steph another minute. There's going to be a tough one for Saric today. Wiggins minutes, man, are weird as shit. 30 for Draymond if he's playing makes some sense. I guess we get a little bit more Looney here today. Maybe a little bit less somebody else. Gary Payton is way less important in this matchup with no Jamal Murray. For Denver, Jokic probable, Murray out. So let's look at Denver then, which we don't really have a ton to change here. We just need to account for the fact that Murray is out. Let's look at the rotation from that most recent game on Monday. Denver won by 18 going away against the Pels. You got pretty standard rotations out of Reggie Jackson, but didn't close the second quarter. They staggered him and then never brought him back. And they closed that second quarter with Porter, KCP, Jokic, and then basically Julian Strawther and Peyton Watson. So I do want to bring Reggie Jackson's minutes down a hair. 28. Colin Gillespie was the first guy off the bench and directly backed him up, except for that closing stretch. So I think 14 for Gillespie makes some sense. 34 for Jokic clearly is fine. 14. Actually, I'm going to go 35-13 for him and Zeke. Uh, 30 for Michael Porter Jr. I'm okay there. 32 to Aaron Gordon. That can go up. for sure with no, we're going to take that up to 34 since Murray's gone. We got only 18 minutes out of Christian Brown, which is kind of wild. We'll keep that at 22. So that leaves me 30 for Strother and Watson. They both played about 18 minutes. So I'm just going to go 15 and 15. 15 to Strother, 15 to Watson. I don't know where else they would come from. I do want to look at rates here for Jokic quickly from a points prop perspective and an assist prop perspective. So as we pull up Denver points prop for Jokic is 29.5. I got him at 28.7, so I feel okay there. Rebound prop for Jokic is 12.5 juice to the over. I have him at 12.5, so I'm okay there. And then finally, assist prop, which would be the one we're really worried about, 10.5. Heavy juice to the under. I got him at 9.2. Up to 9.5. I feel good there. EQ, why does that surprise you? That's exactly the person that should be. I would be shocked if it wasn't him. All right, so that's Denver. S&P, what surprises me is that Vince Carter leads the team in dunks. For Denver, please feel free to play an $11,700 Nikola Jokic. He looks really good. I have him projected for 1.8 fantasy points per minute. EQ, Michael Porter Jr. is like one of the best shooters in the league. He's a 40+% three-point shooter every year on real volume. Are you thinking of a different Porter Jr., like Otto or like Kevin? I think you're getting your Porter Juniors confused. Look, if you're playing Denver, it's Jokic. If you're playing Golden State, you're playing no one at all. I don't know how you go to the Warriors. Across the board, anybody. It's all bad. It's all bad. Got a text from my wife that said, "Bye, I love you." I don't even know where she went. I literally have no idea where she's going. She's going to say something to me now that I should have known. So this should be interesting. All right, let's close this out. Final game, Portland Trailblazers, 7.5-point dogs in Sacramento, 220 total. For Portland, God, so we already know Scoot's out. So no Scoot, no Simons, no Time Lord. Lots going on here. Well, let's just reproject this entire Portland team. Got it. We had to go... she's on her way to the dealership. We needed an oil change. There we go. Now we got it. Now we got it. Let me hit on two things there. S&P, your response, Einsteinium as well. Yes, rates certainly change. The way that I have my model set up, though, is that I have to allocate a certain amount of possessions that I think the game is going to play. So, like, for example, on the screen right now, 98.5 possessions need to be allocated to Portland. But when I take Jamal Murray's use, like in the Murray sense, when I take the Jamal Murray usage rate out, it raises everybody else's usage rate automatically for me to fill those spots. So to a degree, I don't have to immediately look up those rates because it does get partially handled. I go and look through that stuff in the late afternoon. I can't check every team during this show, but those kinds of situations do get handled slightly because that it does. My model backfills that usage for Murray not being there. Like sometimes it doesn't do nearly enough, and it is spreading it across everybody, and you do want to make those changes. But like Porter, I'm not ultra worried about Porter right now. Now for Portland, all right, who started the most recent game for Portland? Was that the Memphis game? Was that the 5th? It was. Do I think the Suns trading Ayton was wise for them? Yes. DeAndre Ayton was a useless part of the Phoenix Suns. Okay, so we got 39 minutes out of Malcolm Brogdon. I am absolutely not projecting Malcolm Brogdon for 39 minutes. The best that I can do is 34. Then we're going to get Shaedon Sharpe. Now, Shaedon Sharpe, I'm going 37. We got, Matisse Thybulle just continues to be very, very uninvolved in this team. What else do we got here now? Power forward was Jeremy Grant, obviously playing massive minutes. He's probably going to look okay here. I'm going to go 36 to Grant. And now no Robert Williams behind Ayton. Ayton's minutes have been climbing quite a bit. I think we got to go 33 here at a minimum, maybe 34. So now the rest of this should fill itself out pretty easily. Who do we think is going to be the backup center? Lakers need to trade LeBron. I know, with that foul drawing rate, get rid of it. That was a great callback. I'm so proud of that. Probably like what? Ryan Rupert? No, maybe. Tumani Kamara is going to be in for like 24. Jabari Walker is going to get like 16. Let's get Kamara in there. Do that. Oh, they have Moses Brown. Yeah. All right. So Moses Brown's the backup center. I don't know how my eyes were missing him. Jose, not even remotely. He's not even. He's barely playable. In my memory, SMP, he doesn't really get those spike games without anybody. Like he just kind of is involved. It's actually Gordon that in my mind that usually gets that kind of change. All right, who are we missing here yet for this team? Skylar Mays. He's going to play what? Like backup point guard run? I can't give Malcolm Brogdon more minutes. That's insanity. But we do need to figure out who's stepping into the rotation now. I guess we don't. They played 9 guys. I guess I can't project Malcolm Brogdon for that many minutes. That's insane. So I got to project a 10th dude, which I guess is just going to have to be Chris Murray. Tricky team. There's minutes to go around for Portland today, unless they go to a 10-man rotation, which I don't know if they want to do. Maybe I just got to get Skylar Mays a couple extra minutes. Pete, is that a real person? I think we're going to stick there for Portland. Rates are all still the same as what they were. Sacramento should be simple. We don't have Fox back, right? Yeah, no Fox, no Lyles. This team is terrible without the Aaron Fox. I don't think I have any rates that I want to change here. So I think we're good for Sacramento, which means we're through the slate. 8-12. We did pretty good for 14 games. There's not a lot to talk about. I don't know how you play anybody from Sacramento. JD, it plays no role to me whatsoever. You can make a case that in a more advanced model that there's some like play type tracking that has weight. Defensive assignments I would never factor in. None of that's real in the NBA any longer. Anybody that'll be like, oh, so-and-so team is this against small forwards, you can immediately ignore their advice for the rest of the year. Do not play anybody from Sacramento. They are full stop unplayable. Portland. Look, 7K Ayton is very, very in play. I actually might need to change his usage rate now that all these guys are out. What's Ayton's points prop? 12.5 to the under. I got 13.6. Okay, then I'm still fine with Ayton because I do think that he's going to get a bump up here. 6,900 for Jeremy Grant is probably the ceiling of where you can get to him. 3K Moses Brown, like all it takes is one sprained ankle for DeAndre Ayton, and he's playing 20 minutes. Jabari Walker is unplayable, basically. Guys, we got to remember, there are 14 games on today's slate. If you are asking about the 7th dude on a shit team, you've gone way too far down the list. We got to remember these things. You got to think about the amount of guys that are available tonight. Even if you wanted to say 5 from every team. Five guys. If you wanted to say five guys are viable in fantasy from every, that's 140 people. Jabari Walker's probably not even in that list of 5. All right, so that's Portland. Let's run some crunches. I don't know what we're going to see here. Guys, thanks for being here. 396 people in the door. It's 8:14 a.m. and we've been going for an hour and 45 minutes. I love to see it. One last reminder to hit the like button or to sign up for the NBA lineup generator using the promo code NBA Treat. It's one big word, $4.99. Links are in the description of the video. That will help you out tremendously. Let's get Cruncher on the screen. Let's grab some projections. And let's see what we got. Here we go. First one up, DraftKings Optimals. All right, DK Optimal, 280.2. This is actually my optimal by 1.6. LaMelo Ball, Jordan Hawkins, Jaden McDaniels, Tari Eason, Mark Williams, Marcus Sasser, Asar Thompson, Nikola Jokic. The Tari Eason thing, I'm going to have to go take a look at his projection right now. He shouldn't be showing up in 38 of the 50 top lineups, so I might have him just slightly off because he's back. I'm going to rerun this in a second. 18 minutes for Eason. No, that is just real, I think. Oh, wait. I think somebody said that he was on a 15 minutes limit. Let's just take him down to 16 so that doesn't happen again. I'm going to rerun that crunch. I don't want a random 3K guy to skew it yet to start the day. That's going to be a little bit too aggressive. Big Tari Eason fan, though. But that's not going to get us to where we want to be if he's showing up in 38 of the top 50 optimal lineups. That ain't it yet. Try this again. Okay, so he still gets there. It's just way less. So the optimal lineup comes down in points because of Eason, but it's still the optimal 278.4. I like the lineup. Eason now only in 2 of the top 3 of the top 50, 4 of the top 50, maybe 6, 7 of the top 50. The value opens up Jokic, and it opens up the ability to get to another guy in that 9K range. So I understand why it's happening. Hornets looking good. Mark Williams, LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, PJ Washington. Yeah, Eason won't get there for anybody. None of that's going to look like that when we get to Locke. If Locke were right now, he's a 3K guy. What do I have his... Yeah, I mean, he's like a fantasy point per minute guy, so I understand what's happening. I don't like it. Did I not turn randomness on? Apparently I didn't. All right, rando. 150 randomness. 150 lineups with 100% randomness. This is where we start to look at it. Marcus Sasser, I think, is the #1 play of the day at this moment. I think he closes no matter how this game plays out. And I think he's probably playing, 30 minutes regardless. But after that, big crop of Wolves and Hornets. Mark Williams, LaMelo, Jaden McDaniels, Brandon Miller, PJ Washington, Conley, Reed, Slow-Mo, Jordan Hawkins. Hornets and Wolves are the 2 teams that I have my eye on. So that's a thing. That's a thing for right now. Let's check out FanDuel. FanDuel obviously going to look a little bit different. Harder to get those weird plays on the FanDuel side as it is on DK. All right. First up, FanDuel optimal lineups. Thank you guys again for being here. Fun day, fun slate. Tomorrow we'll be in and out in a half hour. It'll be awful. Today, we're here forever. 321 on the dot. That is the optimal lineup by 0.82. Marcus Smart, LaMelo Ball, Asar Thompson, Jordan Hawkins, Lauri Markkanen, Brandon Miller, Pascal Siakam, PJ Washington, Mark Williams. No disagreement with anything there. No disagreement there. I think that all looks good. LaMelo made all 50 optimals, which, like, if you think about it, 8,800 for LaMelo playing 30-something, not on a minutes limit, playing against Washington. Makes a ton of sense to me. Let's slap some randomness on it and then call it a day. 150 lineups, 100% randomness. What do we get? Yeah, look, Jordan Hawkins in a little bit of a battle at the top. The value for Jordan Hawkins at 4,300 trumps LaMelo Ball, but then it's Brandon Miller. Harrison Barnes, does he have a broken price? 4,900 small forward. I guess that's just a thing. PJ Washington, Asar Thompson. That's kind of where the line gets drawn. All right, guys. We are done here. NBA contenders will be out in a bit. Prize Picks video. Don't want to miss it. Make sure you're following me either on the Odd Shopper channel or on my Twitter at Josh Engleman. I've been smashing Prize Picks to start this season. 4-0 this past Monday. You don't want to miss those plays. Strategy show with Adam, 10 a.m. See you there. Deeper dive with Adam, 4:45 p.m. See you there. Guys, hell of a day. 400 viewers too. It doesn't get any better than this, everybody. This is the best show in the industry, and I love having you guys here each morning. Hit that like button on your way out the door. Good luck tonight. This was The Process.